Yo, good morning, chatty chatters, and welcome aboard. Good to see you all here for our first look at Cathy Rain 2. This game, originally back from 2016, is back with a sequel known as Soothsayer, a point-and-click detective adventure game. And I love myself some point-and-click games. I absolutely do. And we played a few on the channel before, and it's good to be back for another one. So welcome aboard. Just as an FYI, this game is on sale for another 27 hours. There's a 10% off, like 17 bucks, 18 bucks for about 20, just less than 28 hours. So if you want to get it, seems really cool. It's a game that's trying to go back to the vibes of like the early mid 90s and late 80s and stuff. So if you're a big fan of like Police Quest or any of those types of games, more like the Monkey Island type games, or I'm trying to think of one specifically, King's Quest. Yeah, any of those types of games, that's exactly like this one. So thanks to Raw Fury for sponsoring, and we're only going to take a look at an hour of this because they want us to show the game, but then they don't want us to, like do full spoilers and stuff on the story because it just kind of came out a few days ago, less than a week ago, in fact. So, but good to see very positive reviews. And from what I've been told, you don't need to play the first game in order to enjoy this one. But I do remember watching somebody play Cathy Rain 1 and enjoying the playthrough, and I wanted to play it myself. But then when the opportunity for 2 came up, play that one. Well, here we are. So anyway, big fan of point and click. You'll find a few on the channel, so definitely subscribe and follow. And certainly my cup of tea. So let's go ahead and just check out a little bit of the art here. It certainly looks like a pretty game for sure. And we need to find a murderer before they murder us. So that seems fun. Let's watch a little video and then we'll jump in and we'll play. So let's check it out. See how it looks.
The place I worked so hard for, Rain Investigations.
Oh my God, she's a private eye.
My sanctuary.
Chinatown Detective Agency, anybody? Chinatown Detective Agency? Yeah, exactly.
The place I worked so hard for and am on the verge of losing. The Soothsayer, a vicious serial killer with a life-changing bounty on their head. They say there's no such thing as a free lunch. They were right.
Wow. What a wild case.
Ooh, voice acting.
You don't recognize me, do you?
Handcrafted pixel art? Let's go. Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful pixel art.
You're in a bad way, and I won't help you get yourself killed.
Ooh. Oh, did she just tase that guy?
That creepy motherfucker got the whole town on edge, don't he?
This has got to take place in like the late 80s.
I will kill you myself.
All right, this actually looks very good. I don't know if we'll have time to play more than an hour after today, but at least we get to take a little peek at it.
1998 is turning
Oh, it's
into
98.
the year of the Soothsayer.
98.
5 victims and counting. Name's
God,
Cathy Rain.
looks good as hell.
I run Rain Investigations, and I'm damn good at what I do.
The Soothsayer will kill again. We can be sure of that.
That silly old man just wants one last case with his protege.
Oh, there's like a crafting menu, it looked like.
If I get caught, I'm screwed. It's been a while, Mom.
I see you, Cathy Rain.
Hi.
Oh, God.
Okay. Well, this one's out now. Let's jump immediately into it and check it out. Do love myself some point-and-click games, so if you guys have any suggestions for a point-and-click game after this stream, definitely make sure you comment down below, because they are a very special cup of tea to me. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I really, 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 really like them. And when I'm editing videos and doing stuff in the evenings, I'm going and watching old playthroughs of old point-and-click games. There is something quite special about them, and I don't know what it is. And this art style, I'm glad it's still around. Like, for example, we played Keep Driving recently. A lot of people enjoyed that game. So it's got kind of that same vibe going on. What is this? Whispers of a Machine? Is this another game? Oh, damn. All right, guys, welcome aboard to Cathy Rain 2 Soothsayer. We're going to take a look at this one for about an hour today. And don't want to give out too many spoilers or whatnot, so don't worry, we won't go too far. But if you want to see what the game is about, and try before you buy type thing, definitely subscribe and hit that like button. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump in. We highly recommend playing the first game before 2. Do you want to see a recap of the director's cut? Yes. Although you don't have to buy and play it because you can just see what happened here. So let's see a recap of the previous game.
In 1995, my grandfather died in Conwell Springs, my hometown. I returned for the funeral after being away since childhood.
I do remember seeing this.
I learned that my grandpa had been investigating strange occurrences surrounding a mysterious presence in the forest. However, something happened to him in the woods, putting him in a vegetative state for over a decade.
Now I want to play both these games, 100%.
To solve this mystery, I teamed up with Eileen Summers, my college roommate. A Christian nerd and a biker badass. It was a match made in heaven.
Is this spoilers for the first game, though? It is, yeah. So there's spoilers for the first game, but I'd still play it. And I think I've already seen the first game, so I know what happens, but apparently it's very recommended from the devs, so we'll just do it.
A local church turned out to harbor a secret cult, worshiping the malevolence in the woods, referring to it as the Old God. An endangered hallucinogenic flower, the red scythe, was somehow connected to the Old God's power. As we came closer to the truth, a servant of the Old God made himself known in dreams and visions, the Crimson One, a scheming trickster. Things came to a head when the priest of the corrupt church, Isaac Price, abducted Eileen, intending to offer her to the Old God. I managed to track them down and have Isaac thrown in jail, but Eileen was in a catatonic state and was about to suffer the same fate as my grandfather.
Oh. Yeah, I appreciate a good recap, too. The voice acting in this one is good. They've got all the characters voiced. I appreciate that, too, because it helps to keep everybody separate in my mind of who's who based on voice.
I continued alone and found my way into a great field of red scythes in the depths of the forest. Greeted by the Crimson One, I descended into the Old God's bizarre realm, a place straddling the line between the physical and the otherworldly.
She had different hair then, too, but that was in 95, now it's 98.
The powers of that place tried to break me. My past trauma was manifested and turned against me, including my shadow, an evil doppelganger.
Wait, that's your doppelganger? Is a blonde lady in a oh, wait, here.
I defeated these foes and emerged back into the real world. As I left Conwell Woods, I set the flowers ablaze to eradicate the evil at its root.
Damn. That's gonna be a lot of smoke.
In my absence, Isaac Price took the coward's way out in his jail cell. When I returned, Eileen had awoken. She was safe. It was time for us both to go back home.
I wonder if this story has anything to do with the second one. I think they're two independent stories, though, but it is nice to know who these ladies are and that they're friends from college, and then they worked together recently. This game is intended for mature audiences and contains graphic depictions of horror, explicit violence, suicide, and/or disturbing imagery. Viewer discretion is advised. Press any key or mouse button to proceed. Apparently, you can also play this with a controller too, but it is a point-and-click game, so probably best to use mouse and keyboard. No surprises there. We napping. May 20th, 1998, day 1. Oh, I hear footsteps.
We're closed. For fuck's sake.
Kitty, there's a kitty over there. Also, the Indiana Jones games were really good too.
Lucas.
Gee, what happened to you? Looks like somebody's been through the ringer.
You should mind your own business, old man, before I bring up your ex-wife.
Hey now, I'm just looking out for a former student of mine. And you're always my business.
Oh, I bet I am. That's the only way a has-been like you could ever stay relevant.
Ha! Yeah, that must be it. Now, You gonna invite me in and just let me stand here like an asshole?
Fine, come in then. You want some coffee?
They made her prettier,
I
damn.
got enough, old sis, thank
She
you
looks
very
nice.
much. That brew you make is rancid.
Oh, I did that on purpose. I wanted to do detective work, not dumb chores like some airbrained secretary.
Feigning incompetence, huh? Clever move.
I guess so. I just wish that shrewdness of mine could make me some money.
There's my segue. Did you hear the news on the Soothsayer?
I never took you for a sucker, Lucas. This is Cassidy. There's no way that reward is legit.
You're wrong. Mayor Adams is different. He's the real deal.
And you know this how exactly?
Well, because it just so happens that I was hired to find dirt on the guy. I got nada. Zip. He's a total Boy Scout.
Whatever. We're still talking about a serial killer. Do I look suicidal to you?
Kinda. You passed out at noon, stinking of booze, and that eviction notice hanging over your head isn't doing you any favors.
Oh, wow.
That's none of your concern.
Oops.
I'm handling it. I just need a goddamn case. A normal case. Free of homicidal maniacs.
Don't know what to tell you, kid. Things are looking kinda dry on that front, you dig?
Oh, God. Please don't try to sound hip, Lucas. Your Dick Tracy imitation is cringeworthy enough.
I suppose you could always pawn off that bike of yours. Buy you another month or two.
Ooh, kitty mad.
Tell him, Mildred.
Mildred?
Lose the Catmobile? I'd rather chop off my left tit.
I may be a has-been.
Wow,
but I'm
ma'am.
fairly sure that self-mutilation won't do you much good. A couple $100K, on the other hand.
I love money just as much as the next girl, but, I mean, this isn't just a long shot. It's about as likely as Mildred turning vegan and taking up juggling.
Come on, one more case, for old time's sake. 50-50 split. How could anyone beat my rugged charm and your youthful vigor?
Lucas, we both know you're about as charming as a clown at a funeral. And the last time I
Wow.
saw my vigor was 3 tequila bottles ago.
All right. I know what I'm beating. I'll drop it.
Look, thanks for the tip. I might actually take a shot at that bounty, but you need to accept that we're not a team anymore. We had a good run, but I have my own thing going. Look, see? My name is on the frosted glass and everything.
She is spicy, you're right.
I can respect that. You're not allergic to a little quid pro quo from time to time, though, are you?
Now, that I can do. That's how the world works anyway. It's all just an endless circle jerk of quid pro fucking quo.
I don't quite see things that way. But my door is always open if you'd like to discuss the case.
She's very spicy.
Sure. May the best woman win.
You telling me I'd look good in a dress? Later, kid.
Bye, Lucas.
The Soothsayer.
Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. I should have information on the Soothsayer somewhere in this room.
First of all, let's pet the kitty.
Who's the best fluff ball?
Yeah, pet the kitty.
Couldn't agree more.
Game of the year. Kitty.
Mildred's abode.
All right, spacebar to see what we can interact with. Oh, there's a lot of stuff to interact with. Damn. Bottle of tequila, newspaper rack, unpaid bills, fans. Let's see, maybe a stuck drawer.
That cranky drawer is stuck good. I know Eileen had some magic trick to get it open. Too bad she's not around. Nothing out there but a brick wall and a bucket load of misery.
Ooh. Oh, we got a nice apartment. Refrigerator, postcard, oven, spice rack, cat clock, junk box.
Every biker worth her salt has got a box like this somewhere.
Oh, we got items already. Stun gun, a Zippo lighter, lockpicks, and a notebook.
Cassidy's first and only serial killer. The only thing standing between me and a massive payday. I should look around the office for information about the Soothsayer.
Okay, let's go back to the office then. I'm so happy to be playing another point-and-click game. The art style in this is just so cool. Let's see. Picture Cassidy?
The city we're in, unfortunately.
There's a safe there. How
Empty.
about that?
All this gumshoe has left to pawn is her dignity.
Books?
Various reference books and technical manuals.
Answering machine.
When there's new messages, it blinks. It's high-tech like that. An article in the Chicago Tribune about the Whitmore affair. My big breakthrough case last year. I've been meaning to get it framed, but I've been too busy with important things. You know, like drinking alone.
Bulletin
Just
board?
outdated casework. Can't bring myself to take them down. What bills? Never saw those. Nope, no siree.
No, me neither. Never. Oh, camera.
I should grab this in case I need to snap some shots.
Ooh, key item. Okay, now let's take a picture of Kitty.
My Michiru instant camera. It's loaded with plenty of film. Plotting world domination as usual, Mildred? I better get those pets in then.
A little black kitty doing some plotting. Oh. How cute. Let's listen to the radio.
My radio, with a built-in cassette player. I prefer the quiet right now.
Built-in cassette player. We might need to find a cassette. Also, what is BH?
My lighter. Used to belong to my dad, but
Oh.
now it's mine. Plenty of fuel inside.
Okay. Let's try that
It's a
laminator.
plastic laminator. A machine used to encase paper and other thin objects in transparent plastic. I mainly use it for fake IDs.
That's a crime, ma'am.
My private investigator's license, issued last year. I was worried how Lucas would react, so I applied for it behind his back. I couldn't have been more wrong, though. That old fart has been nothing but supportive since then.
Let's try the phone book. Take Kitty with you, if we can. Kitty can come along.
The yellow pages. Handy for looking up people and businesses. Huh. I wish it was that easy.
Damn it. I thought we could call. Hello, Mr. Soothsayer? Trying to wrap up the case before it began. Oh, I got a Steam achievement for that. Yeah, I was going to. Hi, are you the murderer? Yeah, great. Hey, can we have you come on down to the police department real quick? Just going to take a minute. All right, great. We'll see you down there. Crime solved.
Thankfully, I don't need to make any calls right now. Every time I pick that thing up, I pray there's still a dial tone.
Okay, what haven't we read yet? What about... No, we read that. Bulletin board?
Just outdated casework.
Oh, yeah.
My private investigators. I was worried I couldn't have.
Okay, we read that. Fan?
My biggest fan, as depressing as that is.
She says the same jokes I do. How about that tequila, sister?
Thanks for the headache, you Mexican jerk. Yeah. Maybe there's something about the killings in these papers.
Here we go.
All right. I found a few interesting articles about the most recent murder.
Deborah. Soothsayer targets best-selling author Cassidy serial killer hits high-profile victim. At age 49, the one and only Deborah Sinclair was tragically taken from us. She was stabbed to death on May 8th in her iconic cabin. The chilling signature mirror left on the scene made it clear that she had become yet another Soothsayer victim. Dock strike continues. Pest control. This is continued on a different page. Oh, there. Soothsayer viciously murders Deborah Sinclair. The famous writer's life had met an abrupt end. Oh, you can drag. Oh, that's cool. Sinclair with her signature Yapan tea. That's going to be important later, I'm sure. We're devastated to report that the fifth victim of the Soothsayer was none other than acclaimed author Deborah Sinclair. The fifth victim? Damn. One of the most recognized faces of Cassidy, local readers of Sinclair may realize That previous victim, Jane Doe, was slain on the publication anniversary of Storm Chaser, one of Sinclair's classic novels. A simple coincidence, or do these murders have a deeper connection to the author? The murder occurred in Sinclair's famous writer's retreat near the border of the National Park. National Park Service was the first on the site and currently in control of the crime scene. The NPS lacks necessary training and resources to conduct murder investigations. We should expect that the crime scene will soon be handed over to the Soothsayer Task Force at the KPD. For now, the body has been transported to this a city morgue awaiting clearance for pathological examination. Chief Ranger Samuel Walker had the following comment: "We are still establishing all of the facts surrounding the crime. Please be patient. We want to do right by Deborah." Deborah Sinclair was a longtime friend of the Gazette and led a prolific life with more than 30 novels, published during her lifetime. On this sad day, we mourn the loss of a cultural icon and pray that her death will be the last at the hands of the vile Soothsayer. Ooh, grand opening of a burger place. 24 hours a day? Damn. We're going there, chat. We're going there.
All right, I think that's everything I've got on Deborah in here. When I'm ready to leave, I should be able to learn more about the other victims at the library.
All right, well, we can always come back here, so let's go to the library.
I should be able to learn more about the Soothsayer at the library.
Okay. Hell yeah. I wonder if Kitty can come with. I guess not. All right, this is cool. Like, when you go between different areas in the game, you get like a motorcycle cutscene, which is pretty sweet, brother. And that right there, goddamn it, I believe that's a Mack truck, brother. Hell yeah. Out on the open road. Oh, let's go to the library. Consult your local library for more. Cassidy City Library. Okay. Umbrellas, plants, poster, plaque. Oh, and a map.
A plaque with some prominent donors. Interestingly, Deborah Sinclair is listed here. So apparently if there's a fire, I'm supposed to run through those gigantic double doors 10 feet away. Phew, I'm saved.
Oh, P.O. boxes at the library? Do they have post office boxes at a library?
A bunch of magazines. Mostly celebrity gossip, it looks like. You can rent one of those if you lack a fixed address. Let's hope things don't come to that.
Now let's go to the computer. No results. Search for book title or author surname. Okay, well, she has a lot of books, but I don't know what one we're looking for yet. Or if we're looking for a book at all. Microfilm.
Microfilms containing images of scanned newspapers. They're organized by calendar date.
Ah. Okay, so we might need to find a specific date and then pull a film and then look at it on the microfilm viewer.
Some antique world map centered on the U.S. 1800s, maybe?
Let's see. Let's chat with the librarian, maybe. I don't even know what we're really looking for.
Deborah Sinclair, celebrity author and one of the most famous Cassidy residents. She was recently stabbed to death by the Soothsayer. Maybe I can find out where that cabin of hers is located. Someone has to know where it is.
There we go. All right, let's figure out what book maybe the cabin is mentioned in. Chat with the librarian.
Hi, I need some help, please.
Of course. How can I be of assistance?
What do you know about Deborah Sinclair?
Quite a bit. Do you have a more specific line of inquiry?
What do you know about Deborah's private life?
She had quite an interesting life. Adopted as a child, and her
Great
adoptive
voice
father,
acting in this game.
Sebastian Willis Sinclair,
Really good.
was an accomplished author in his own right. Deborah's birth mother was a young homeless woman, and her father was a Native American. Deborah spent much of her life trying to track down her biological father, unsuccessfully. Perhaps in some part due to her roots, Deborah's books have often contained subject matter inspired by Native American religion. She was childless and unmarried when she passed away. Rumors say she was gay, but God knows tabloids are quick to jump to conclusions. I don't think she ever clarified that matter to the public. If you are curious to learn more, I would highly recommend her acclaimed autobiography, Unbound.
Oh, I might check that out. Thanks for the information.
That's what we're looking for. Okay.
Thanks. I'll come back if I have more questions.
Very well. Good luck.
Funny how detectives always end up going to the library. Oh my god, you're right. It's like their second office. Can she run? No. Okay, so let's find Unbound. What's up, Matza? Oh, it still kept our thing there. Deborah Sinclair's long-awaited autobiography. Okay. Status unavailable. Oh, crap. Any other books? There's no books for her in the library at all. That's bad. Wait. Hold on. Also co-written by Stephen Collins. The Moave Affair also unavailable. Damn it. Library sucks. No books in the whole library.
Microfilms containing... It's this year's calendar. Could be useful in a jiff, but I think I'll talk to the librarian first.
About what? Gonna hit a dead end here.
If I need a book, I should use the computer.
So we need to find an available book. I guess we'll tell the librarian it's been checked out. Unless...
A bunch of magazines. A workstation for the librarian. If I need to search for books, I could use the computer down the hall.
Ah, he has his own workstation. We might need to distract him and get him away. He might have, like, access to info we can't normally access.
One more thing.
Yes?
I'm looking to find some information on the Soothsayer.
Ah. Quite a few people have taken an interest in that case lately.
That's so. Well, I'm not scared of a little competition. So, you got anything for me?
Yes. I would direct you to the microfilm viewer at the end of the hall. We have full scans of all of the major newspapers dating all the way back to the 50s.
Perfect. I should be able to browse those for some articles about the murders.
Indeed. If I may ask, what is your own interest in the case?
You probably heard there's a reward, right? I'm a PI, and money is tight, so...
I see. I suppose we each have our own ways to make a living.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Never heard of this series before, but already looks good. We'll be keen to play it. Thanks for showcasing the game. Absolutely. Yeah, I love point-and-click games. Anytime like a dev comes to me with a point-and-click game I want to play. If there's time, I will definitely play. We already have a lot that we're going to play today, but I absolutely needed to squeeze this one in. Also, big thanks to Raw Fury 2 for... They wanted me to stream this a few days ago before the game came out, or like right at launch, but I was away, and I asked them, like, I absolutely want to play this. Can I play this like when I get home? And they're like, yeah, sure. So thanks to them for being super,
it's
like,
one of those advanced
lenient.
microfilm viewers. I'll need to insert a microfilm to use that.
So about 24 hours left on the sale for this one for $17, and I already would say it's worth it for me because like
Microfilms
usually
containing
these
images
stories
of
are really
scanned
good.
Newspapers, They're organized by calendar date.
Okay, so we need to find a calendar date to pull a microfilm to then use it on the viewer, but how do we do this? Is there any dates here? Maybe there's more newspapers at the date she was murdered. What does she say now? Oh, there we go.
Okay, let's see here. It would take ages to look through all the microfilms since the killings began, so maybe I can figure out on what date the murder prior to Deborah's occurred. Hopefully I can deduce the date of the previous murder from the articles I picked up at the office. When I have a good date written down, I can view the corresponding microfilm and look for useful information.
Oh, okay, there we go. Well, now we got a lead. There we go. Get the fourth victim articles.
I should try to figure out when the previous murder happened and then search the microfilm starting from that date. The calendar should help.
Okay. The newspaper said... So she was stabbed to death on May 8th, and the other victim was from... Rose Taylor. Oh, the original casualty. Okay, that was the first one. No sign of a break-in. This music's great, too. What a great little... It's very LA Noire-like with the kind of cymbals and drums going on in the background. Fifth victim. Previous victim Jane Doe was slain on the publication anniversary of Storm Chaser. Okay. So we need to find out when Storm Chaser was published. $425.87.
All right, I've got a date written down. I can use that to find the corresponding microfilm.
God, tax day. Another crime right there. Absolute legal theft.
It's one of those advanced... Yeah, this date should be good. I'll search through a week or so of microfilm starting from the date I've written down. Hopefully I can find some useful information on the previous victim.
There we go, boys. We got a lead. Here we go.
Yes, there we go. I'll have these printed. All right, rinse and repeat. I should try to determine the previous microfilm date based on the information in these new pages. That way I can make my way back from article to article, victim to victim, until I get all the way to the first murder. Let's see here.
Oh, God. Burns Jane Doe alive. Wow. Okay, so victim number 5 was the author. Victim number 4 was Jane Doe. Now we need victim number 3. So let's read through this. So this was the May 13th article. Wait, that's May 9. May 13th. Wait, why are those different dates? This is just a follow-up from the May 8th article? No, May 9th, which was the next day. Okay, so that's when she was... So they announced that she was dead on May 9th, which was killing on May 8th, and they followed up on the 13th. So then this article for Jane Doe, which is marked here... April 29th, 98. Soothsayer burns Jane Doe alive. The infamous Soothsayer has cranked up the heat on his killing spree, as the latest victim, a young woman in her early 20s, was determined to have been brutally burned alive on Constance Hill. The death occurred on the night of April 25th. Due to the state of the remains, Jane Doe's identity has been difficult to ascertain. Despite indications of dental work on the corpse, there were no matching dental records anywhere in the city, leading police to believe that the woman was not a local. A lack of struggle could mean that the victim was incapacitated, but the condition of the body gives little clarity on that matter. Picking a public site like this was a risky proposition for the Soothsayer, but he may have banked on the fact that distant witnesses would assume that the fire came from a nearby fire pit. Mayor Adams offered his comment, as unpleasant as it is, I must ask you to be patient. Let Ed Cassidy, Chief of Police Edgar Mitchell Brown, and his team do their job. KPD has my full confidence in the matter, and the City Hall stands vigilant to assist in any way we can. For extensive coverage of the previous victim, Deacon Townsend, see issue 842. Deacon Townsend. $842. If they publish every day, then that would have been 3 days prior. So 29 minus 3? Right? If they publish every day. So April 26th. Let's try that before we go any further.
I know where Constance Hill is, but that's a fair distance from the city. Better save it for tomorrow. For now, I'll put Jane Doe on hold and see what I can find about the previous murder victim.
New location added. Cool. So now we can go to the scene of the murder. April 26th. See if we can pull that.
Worth a shot?
Okay. And then I'll read the next article on Jane Doe. We're only like kind of halfway through.
Rats. I was hoping to find issue number 842 here. I guess the Sun is not a daily paper.
Not a daily paper, that's what I was suspecting.
And Jane Doe died on April 25th to boot, didn't she? That's the day before this. Seems unlikely that the murders were that close.
Really? Okay, let's read more of the article. Soothsayer strikes again. Task force established Monday, April 27, 1998. Edgar Mitchell Brown on April 26. Photo credit J. Miller. The Soothsayer has claimed a fourth victim, an unidentified woman estimated to have been 18 years old. Her charred remains were found on the outskirts of Cassidy, near the overlook at Constance Hill. The cause of death is yet to be determined. The Soothsayer's victims do not seem to share any obvious similarities in terms of gender, age, occupation, or social class, and the killing methods, locations, and disposal of the bodies are all different. All right, so that means that he's not just killing women, but there may be also elderly men in here too. Do you have to be girl Nancy Drew? Wait, isn't Nancy Drew a girl too? I don't. You have to be this character, and I don't mind her. She's got a little sass, you know, a little spice. I like that. I like that. However, the killings have all occurred within the greater Cassidy area over a period of 3 months, which should indicate that the Soothsayer is somewhat local to the area. Interesting. In related news, the Cassidy Chief of Police has recently announced that the investigation of these killings will be taken over by the newly created Soothsayer Task Force. Edgar Mitchell Brown said the following during a press conference on April 26. As of May 1st, the so-called Soothsayer slangs will be investigated by a dedicated task force of 8 senior detectives handpicked from various divisions of the Cassidy Police Department. Rest assured that this elite group has every resource at their disposal. When asked whether or not the FBI would be involved, Mitchell Brown replied, "There is no federal jurisdiction in this case. I have no further comment. We'll take it. The Gazette has frequently criticized Cassidy Police Department for their errors in the past, but credit where credit is due. This is a step in the right direction." Weekly up top? Oh, your source of weekly news. Yeah, you're right. The Cassidy Sun Weekly. Yep. But this one might be a daily paper. Okay. So now we know a little bit more. Fourth victim is 18. Her charred remains. So it was an 18-year-old lady on whatever hill that was called. As of May 1st, they've started that. Press conference on the 26th. Wait. Oh, so we're still waiting for Jane Doe, but also we need to find Deacon Townsend, which was a dude, I think. Okay, so we're still finding more information on that and there. Yeah, this is Kathy Rain 2. Yep, exactly. So if you played the previous game, there's a sequel out. And if you haven't played the previous game, I remember watching a video on it, and I enjoyed it and remember quite a bit. I don't know what we should do next. So we tried that other date. What is the, So Deborah led us to Jane Doe, and Jane Doe led us to April 20... Oh, the death occurred on the night of April 25th. Early 20s. Oh, wait, but is that the same as the 18-year-old? Soothsayer claimed a fourth victim. Woman estimated to have been 18. Oh, okay, so they're estimating somewhere between 18 and 20. Night of the 25th. Well, we could try... Did I try the 26 before? Let's try 25.
No need to do that again.
Okay, it gives us the same thing.
Jane Doe was the fourth victim of the Soothsayer. She was burned alive.
Right.
I think I'm done with that victim for today. I should focus on my other leads for now.
Okay, so we're done with her. So now we need to find out about this Deacon... Yeah. Previous victim, Deacon Townsend, 842. So if that's a weekly paper, then we got to go back. So it's published every Wednesday. So we're talking about Wednesdays, three papers ago. So 3 Wednesdays before April 29th. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Oh, God. It is tax day. Dear Christ. I knew it. It was the IRS all along. Interest and penalties.
No. I don't think this date I've got written down is good.
No, it's not a good date. You're right, but... Oh, come on, lady. Come on. $842. Shouldn't that be it? 1, 2... Oh, I was an idiot. 8. 8! Sorry, I was so focused on tax day.
Yes, this should be the right date.
There we go. My bad.
Let's see here.
Sorry. My bad. I just wanted to blame the IRS, really.
Okay, let's have a look.
Okay, that's good. Soothsayer stages suicide of prolific deacon. We are sad to report the third member of our community has been taken out by the so-called Soothsayer, who appears to be Cassidy's first serial killer. The victim's name was Benedict Townsend, age 51. Is Benedict a nickname for Deacon? Sources say that the death occurred on April 3rd, and Townsend was likely murdered in a staged suicide by hanging. Townsend served as a deacon at the King of Catholics Church. Oh, okay, so he was a deacon by the name of Benedict at the church. Okay, that makes sense. Old congregation dating back to the early 1900s. He was a beloved figure in the community, well known for his voluntary work. Reverend Hugh Winters, the pastor of the King of Kings, had the following to say: "My heart aches for Ben's soul and everything he had left to give to the world, but I take some comfort in the fact that he is with the Lord now, and for the person or persons who did this to my friend, know that there will be a reckoning. Murder is a sin most vile. God sees all. The King of Kings remains open as a crime occurred in the adjacent rectory building. However, the rectory will remain under lock and key until properly consecrated." So the King of Kings is a Catholic church, and he's the deacon of that. All right. Soothsayer linked to 3 murders, serial killer on the loose, 3 killings in 2 months, connected by foreboding signature. Deacon Benedict Townsend, age 51, was found dead April 4th in the rectory of the King of Kings Catholic Church. The cause of death was determined to be a hanging, but suicide has been ruled out by the KPD. Anonymous police source had the following to say: "Somebody else was involved. The positioning of the body and other logistics don't add up if he was alone." The scenario is eerily similar to that of Eric Holloway, the postman who met his demise on the ominous full moon night last month. His death was initially treated as a suicide, but revised to homicide. All right, Eric Holloway, full moon night last month. So, March?
Okay, I'll make sure to look into that church later and maybe find the address. For now, let's move on to victim number 2.
So, full moon in March 27th.
I'm on the right track with this date, but I think I've got the full moon and the new moon confused.
Girl, what? Isn't that a full... Oh, new... Oh, is that when it's completely blacked out? Oh, my bad. It's the opposite. That's what we're looking for, the 12th.
Yes, this should be the right date.
There we go.
Let's see here.
There we go. Prominent suicide morphs into homicide. Initially reported as a suicide, the death of Eric Holloway on March 12th has been officially reclassified by KPD as homicide. Since this public death occurred, multiple reliable witnesses have come forward claiming that the victim was pushed off the roof of the building at 4 Verdant Street. However, there are no detailed descriptions of the perpetrator, likely due to the limited illumination of the roof area at night. Holloway led a quiet and simple life, working as a mailman for the city and said to have been well liked by his peers. However, there are unverified reports of mental health problems related to the death of his fiancée last year. Police sources told us that there are links to the brutal motel stabbing of nurse Rose Taylor on Statehood Day, but were reluctant to share further details of an ongoing investigation. Statehood Day, Rose Taylor. This is for Eric. On Thursday, March 12th, at roughly 8 p.m., a 32-year-old man leapt from the roof of the 4-story apartment building in Verdant Street, instantly killing himself on the pavement below, making a grisly spectacle for neighbors and bystanders alike. Friends and neighbors claim that the victim had struggled with the death of his girlfriend, but no suicide note has been recovered. Events like this reiterate that mental health and grief counseling should be a national concern, with more resources available for vulnerable people in crisis. If you or anyone you know is having suicidal thoughts, you can reach the National Suicide Hotline. Fake number available 24/7. Maybe put the real number in there. Could cause pranks, though. You don't want that. Hopefully not. Eric Holloway.
Eric's address isn't too far away, but I should learn all I can here before I visit any of the crime scenes. Coming up last, the very first victim of the Soothsayer.
Okay. And that was that lady, I think. Wasn't it at a hotel? Yeah, brutal motel stabbing of Rose Taylor on Statehood Day. Maybe that. There, statehood day.
Yes, this should be the right date. Let's see here.
Nice, feels good, man. Rose, Satanist responsible for motel slaughter. A brutal stabbing occurred at the Azure Sky Motel on February 5th, and our sources now say that there's an occult angle to the killing with some sort of artifact left on the scene. The husband of the victim was briefly detained but released a day later. Law enforcement claims that he remained a person of interest, however, and confirmed that the cause of death was multiple stab wounds to the chest. There's the motel. On February 7th, Rose Amanda Taylor, age 47, was found dead by Robert Tippett, the owner of the Azure Sky Motel. Taylor had been stabbed to death by an unknown perpetrator. Blood everywhere like a damn butcher room. Tippett says wide-eyed and continues to emphasize that the city's going to hell. You go ahead and print that. Neighbors report hearing a commotion from the room, but that was apparently a regular occurrence, so no one went to investigate. Taylor, who is survived by her husband and 2 children, who've declined a request to be interviewed. The husband was briefly detained, but is no longer considered a suspect. If you have any information, call the police department at their number. Okay. Rose Taylor at Azure Sky Motel.
All right, that should be everything on the microfilms. I think I'll continue to
Nice.
focus on gathering information today and then head to each of the murder sites tomorrow.
Oh, okay. If you need help with what to do next, try opening your notebook and query your active tasks. Follow up on the clues.
I still don't know where Deborah's cabin is. I better ask around. Someone should be knowledgeable about her.
Well, the librarian did know, but the book is checked out, so I don't know what to do about that. Let's go see if we can ask about the checked out book.
One more thing.
Yes?
Oh. We can only ask about these questions. What is that? Oh, you can also ask about not only things in your notebook, but about the room.
I saw that Deborah Sinclair was one of the financial contributors to the library.
Indeed. This place had gone through a rough patch, and I'm told that her gift came just in the nick of time, saving the library from closure.
Those boxes over there can be rented anonymously, right?
Yes. Would you like me to set that up for you?
Not right now. But if I'm evicted in a few weeks, I might just take you up on that.
Oh, I sincerely hope it doesn't come to that.
I don't want to ask him about that. This place has been around for a while now, hasn't it?
Well, that depends on your frame of reference, but the library turns 110 next year.
Wow.
Damn. Must be one of the oldest buildings still standing in the city then.
Most likely, yes.
I don't want to show that to him.
Oh, come on. I was going to tase him for some answers. Come on. I'll burn the damn library down. Just tell me where the cabin is.
I don't want to show that to him.
Okay. Well, I tried. Who else could we ask about? I feel like a lot of these are going to be dead ends. I just want to ask him about the cabin. Ask the dude about Deborah. He might know the cabin location. Okay.
Can I pick your brain about Deborah Sinclair again?
Sure. What are you curious about?
Well, we asked about her private life, and then he told us about a biography or whatever, but then that book is already taken out.
I don't see a reason to show him those. I'm sure he knows more about Deborah Sinclair than me.
Well, then damn it, ask him about the cabin.
Thanks.
Very well.
Okay, well, we got to figure out where that cabin is then.
A bunch of magazines. If I need... Some local hero from the Civil War, I think? Well, either that or Beethoven. That guy gets around.
Every one of her books are rented out. I need that book, though, to know where her cabin is. But maybe there's some address we can go to and, like, ask somebody if we can borrow it. Who knows what path that'll take. Does the blue shirt dude talk? We might be able to talk to people. No, that's just the bookshelf behind. Statue in the bookshelf in the background. Looks like we can't talk to anybody in the library. They're busy. Okay, well, I guess our best bet is to ask the librarian other questions in the journal.
One more thing.
Yes?
Do you know anything about the King of Kings Catholic Church?
I'm not familiar with that church, sorry.
Can I pick your brain about...
Sure.
I'll ask about Deborah in a minute. Let's ask about Jane Doe.
What do you know about Jane Doe, the fourth Soothsayer victim?
Apart from Deborah Sinclair, I can't offer much insight on the Soothsayer victims.
Oh, so he only knows about Deborah Sinclair. Okay. So, oh, that's great. So all these are now grayed out. So he doesn't know anything about anybody other than Deborah. So let's try the motel.
Are you familiar with the Azure Sky Motel?
I'm afraid not.
The micro whatever machine. Last article had info about her book signing. Okay, we'll check that.
What do you know about scrying mirrors?
Not much, unfortunately. They're not within my area of expertise.
Can I...
Sure.
All right, we'll start from the top.
What do you know about the murder?
I believe she was killed at her writer's retreat, stabbed to death.
Writer's retreat.
The police say the MO was similar to the other victims, with the shattered mirror and all that.
Where's this writer's retreat located exactly?
There's an area called Bear Creek, just on the border of the national park. Sinclair owned a small cabin there.
Bear?
Got it.
Bear Creek?
That's a decent drive.
Oh, I'm so
I
shocked.
think I'll head out there tomorrow.
Huh. Bear Creek, who I would have never guessed.
I
Wow.
think I'll look into that church next, the King of Kings. There was no mention of an address for it in the newspapers.
Okay, I think we can always come back.
Thanks. I'll come back if I have more questions.
Okay, so now we know where the cabin
Very
is.
well. Good luck.
Is that all I needed to do here? We can always come back. Oh damn, we unlocked a lot of locations. Oh great, let's go to Bear Creek, because why not?
Not yet. I'll focus on research today and head to the murder scenes tomorrow.
Oh come on. Alright, back to the library then. We'll have to ask more questions. I don't know what else we could do though other than just ask this guy about that stuff.
One more.
Yes?
I wanted to go see a new scene.
Sure.
What kind of books did Deborah write?
She dabbled in many different genres over the years, but her main bulk of work could probably be defined as horror, mystery, or a combination of the two. Afflicted, Dead Ends Meet, and the Jenny Payne trilogy are some of her most well-known titles.
Huh, okay. Was she working on a new book when she died?
I believe so, yes. But I don't have any details to share.
Okay.
Was Deborah a popular author?
Oh, yes. Even before her death. Afterwards, her popularity has reached astronomical levels.
I can imagine.
Yeah, Patrick, our
Borrowing one of her
schedule's
books
an
now
exclamation
is
point
out of the
schedule.
question, right?
Correct. 6 months wait minimum.
What?
Yeah, I figured.
6 months to get a book from her? Damn. Okay, well, we asked about the murder, about her books. Okay, I think we asked everything about that. And we asked about all these locations. So I guess we gotta go back to the office?
Thanks.
Very well.
I don't know what else we should do. We gotta talk to more people, but I got nothing from this guy.
I think I'll look into that church next, the King of Kings. There was no mention of an address for it in the newspapers.
Okay, wait a minute. That's what we need to find. So the King of Kings Church. No mention of the address in the newspapers. Where else would we find a address for that phone book? Back at the office, maybe? There is a phone book back at our office. Maybe that we can look up the name of the church, then get the phone number and address, maybe?
Great. I've got the address to the church. I'll head over there tomorrow.
Good.
I think it's time to see what I can find about the Azure Sky Motel. It's likely in this phone book here. Got the number. I'll call first and see if a visit makes sense. God knows I have to be careful with those last drops of gas left in the bike.
Thank you for calling the Azure Sky Motel, your oasis in Cassidy. How may I help you?
Hi there. This is Kathy Rain from Rain Investigations. I have some questions.
All right, then.
Oh, boy.
So, I hear that one of your tenants was murdered back in February? Rose Taylor.
No shit. Here I thought the boys in blue ransacked this whole place just for shits and giggles.
That happens more often than you'd think. Come on, man. Help a girl out.
Sorry for the attitude, but you know you're the umpteenth person to ask about that, right?
I get that, so how about we stick with the short version?
Fine. No, I don't know anything that isn't in the papers. No, you can't see the room. It's rented out. And even if you did go in there, there's nothing that the cops or cleaners haven't removed since friggin' February.
Understood. So what about the next of kin? She had a husband, right?
Yeah, he came by later to pick up the personal effects. I just met the guy for a few minutes.
Did you catch his name?
I did, but I don't think he'd appreciate me giving out his name to some random lady on the phone. No offense.
I am a bit offended, actually. I'm not some random lady. I'm a licensed private investigator and a renowned one at that. Ever hear of the Whitmore affair?
That does sound familiar.
Well, that was me. Now, here's a friendly piece of advice. Choose the path of least resistance. I can be a much bigger pain in the ass than this Mr. Taylor, believe me.
All right, fine. It's Orson. Orson Taylor.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
Damn good detective work.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Are we going back to the library again?
What can you tell me about Orson Taylor, Rose's husband?
Nothing much. Like I said, I only saw the guy once, a week or so after the murder.
Okay. How do you seem?
Like you'd expect. Messed up. Couple of kids, too. Breaks my heart, truth be told.
So, if Rose was married and had 2 children, what was she doing in your motel?
Yeah.
Now that's the million-dollar question, ain't it? You'll get no answer from me. Even if I could keep track of all of our tenants, I don't make a habit of sticking my nose in their personal affairs.
Huh. Was she a regular then?
Not really, just a couple of bookings in January and February. Look, I think I've said enough. Any other questions? We need to wrap this up. I've got calls on the other line.
Yeah, that's all I got. Unless you could tell me about this bottle of tequila.
I don't need to ask him about anything in the room.
Damn. All right. You're off the hook then, pal.
That's all, thanks.
You're welcome. Have a great day now.
Interesting. Okay, well, what do we need to do next? I guess we got to find out about this Orson Taylor. That's a good lead.
Orson Taylor is the surviving husband of Rose Taylor, the first Soothsayer victim. Police have excluded him as a suspect.
Well, let's see if he's in the phone book.
All right, found the husband's
Boom.
number. Here's hoping he's willing to talk to me.
All right, let's call the husband. Hi, sir. We're calling about your dead wife. Hope this isn't
No need to do that again.
awkward. Oh, I gotta go to the phone. Ooh, this is gonna be weird. It's gonna be an awkward call.
You've reached the Taylors. No one's home right now, but if you leave your details after the beep, I'll get back to you.
Hi, Mr. Taylor. This is Kathy Rain, private investigator. I was wondering if I could ask you some questions.
He's gonna pick up the phone.
You can reach me at 555-142-062. Thanks in advance. Bye. I think I followed up on what I can today for each of the different victims. Just one thing left to do. I noticed that the Gazette had the best coverage of the Soothsayer out of all the city papers. I think it's time to pay a dear old friend a visit.
That lady. Our other friend, I think. Also, the answering machine will probably have his responses or something. He'll probably call us back, or there's going to be something to do with
What
that answering
bills?
machine. Okay, so let's go to, I think, our friend, that lady that was in the intro in the white suit. Forgot her name. Ellen or something? Or Eileen? Something. Let's go to the Gazette. Talk to our good old friend.
All
there
right,
she is.
here we are. Let's see how E is doing.
Oh my God, is that a little frog?
Cute little frog. E has had that thing as long as I've known her.
It's the pipe
Hey,
screensaver.
What's a synonym for disappointing?
Your outfit?
Got him.
Now that's just mean.
Sorry, Summers, couldn't resist.
Oh, come on,
What do you
Eileen.
think? Disheartening,
Eileen.
dismaying, dissatisfactory?
I think I'm looking for a stronger statement.
Then I'd go with depressing, distressing, or maybe demoralizing.
Demoralizing. Yes, perfect. Thanks, Art.
Anytime, kiddo.
Hello, sunshine. How's my favorite Christian reporter?
Oh, what do you want, Kathy? I'm on a deadline here.
No small talk, huh?
Wow.
Can't I check in on a friend?
Not even a big hello?
I wish, but we both know you only show up when you need something.
Ouch.
I mean, I am trying to solve a
Well,
murder.
I did have something I
Would
wanted
like
to
your
talk
help.
to you about.
Let's hear it then.
Oh boy, we got a lot of things to ask her.
I'll let you get back to your work.
All right, see.
See ya. Well, let's save. Boom. All right. Well, guys, unfortunately, that's all the time we have today for Kathy Rain 2 Soothsayer, and I don't want to give away too much for this sponsored stream, but this is absolutely something that I think we'll come on back to in the future if we have some extra time. Love these point-and-click games, love great voice acting like that, and it definitely shows that graphics are not everything, especially in 2025. So Kathy Rain 2 out now. There's about less than 24 hours on the discount, 10% off, 17, 18 bucks on Steam. But highly recommended. I thought that was very good so far. I really want to play the rest of this, but we got to go do some other things today. We got to get on the road and deliver at all costs. Then we got to go patrol the streets in the precinct and then go build those roads in Roadcraft. So we'll be back to that for tonight as well. So if you want to see more Kathy Rain Tube, do me a big old favor and smash that like button on YouTube, but don't go anywhere. We're going to continue on with our next stream starting right now. So thank you very much, guys, for watching. And yeah, Kathy Rain 2 Soothsayer, very cool. Also, the first game, very good as well. So maybe there's actually a sale on that one too. Or if there's ever a sale, I would recommend for those of you who love point and clicks. I've heard nothing but good things on that first game. All right, I'll see you all in a bit. Thank you very much for watching.